Hi guys, Mr. Pollock Biology here once again for my 6th video going through this super top secret, magical, super fun, happy time AS Biology new specification 2016 edition top secret teacher only paper 1 specimen materials set 2. This is question 6. We've done loads and loads of stuff, but let's get stuck into what's question 6 about water. So a biological molecules question to begin with. So this is all fact recall. It's really, really short, snappy facts, but this question is a bit strange. So we say, water and inorganic ions have important biological functions within cells. Okay. Give two properties of water that are important in the cytoplasm of cells and explain its importance. Right, there is a real risk here about talking about things like specific heat capacity and latent heat or latent energy of vaporization and all that kind of stuff. That's more important at organism level, so we're thinking cellular. So property number one is that water is considered a universal solvent, which is great. And partly the reason it is a solvent is because it's polar in nature, but we won't go into that just now. It's a solvent and it's biologically important because metabolic reactions occur faster when they're happening in a solvent. So reactions occur faster in solvent. That's our first point. Very nice. Straight out the textbook, this. And then property number two is that it's an important metabolite in many reactions. So it takes part in many reactions. So we can say that it's actually quite reactive. And in particular, it's involved in condensation reactions, hydrolysis reactions, all of those kind of things. And if we can give a named example, then even better. So let's go for hydrolysis, e.g. of starch, which is pretty neat. So there we go. 2 points. Bit of a strange question, but yeah, pretty much straight out of the textbook. And then another one. Other than sodium, so we don't want sodium, name one inorganic ion. Inorganic are the ones with no carbon, and give one example of its biological importance. Easiest one to go for, I reckon, is iron, Fe2+. And biological importance, it forms the heme group of hemoglobin. So in hemoglobin, gives oxygen, gives hemoglobin an affinity for oxygen. There we go. Affinity for O2. And that'll do. That will do. So what else are we going with this one? Ooh, compare and contrast the processes by which water and inorganic ions enter cells. Alright, okay. So they both move. Let's go for from where there's lots of it to where there's not so much of it. So they both move down a concentration gradient. Sorry, my emails are blinging. Move down a concentration gradient. Concentration gradient. And they both also require channel proteins to be able to do this. Okay, so they require channel proteins, and in fact, the ones that transport water are called aquaporins. Require channel proteins. And water needs to pass through channel proteins because of the hydrophobic region of the phospholipid bilayer. So they need to pass through there. Channel membranes in the membrane. Let's go for that. In membrane. And ions, because they're large, or because they're charged rather, they also need to travel through those transport proteins. However, the thing about ions is that they can move the other way. So ions can also move in the opposite directions. They can move against concentration gradient. This is our contrast point. And to do that, we require a little bit of energy from ATP. So this is active transport. This is active transport. So if you have any doubts about transport and all that kind of stuff, you should check out my video.